Hello, it's Scott Manley here, and today I am actually going to take a proper close look at BD Armory, a mod which I have used several times, but I haven't really given the mod a dedicated video to go over what it offers, and what it offers is a lot. It offers missiles, it offers guns, it offers rockets, it offers bombs, it offers artificial intelligence to fly these things. Right now I'm getting set up with some guns. I'm going to shoot this target. This is a drone target which is programmed to kill me and will no doubt be returning fire anytime soon. There it is, it's shooting at me. Can I take it down? Oh, whoa, wow. That was legit close. I would have hit that had I not shot its wing off. Now, this aircraft was actually sent in by a viewer. I asked people who viewed the channel to send in spacecraft, and I think this is Noah Vanderkraan who sent me this one. He says it beats everything, so I thought, great, I shall try flying this. Now, I'm not flying it AI style. What I am trying to do is figure out, yeah, down here I need to switch this. I think I need to switch my radar to bore sight so I can target with one of these radar guided missiles. AJ Sim 2 is another player's aircraft, although this aircraft that they designed was a science aircraft which I put some guns on. But radar guided missiles are away, and let's see what they do to it. Here we go, and it's completely obliterated. A victory! So I bet there's a bunch of you want to actually take a look at what the mod has to offer, so let's actually go into the hangar and try building some aircraft and show you how it works. Okay, assuming you have an airframe which you can attach your weapons to, you will find them all under the BD Armory weapons tab, and this has a veritable riches of weapon systems of all sorts. Everything from chain guns, you know, howitzers, so if you want to build your big gunships. You have airborne lasers, you have straight up warheads. If you want to actually build your own missiles and attach guidance rigs to it, you can. Radar, countermeasures, flares, chaff, all these radar systems for targeting, bombs, guided missiles, cruise missiles, turrets, they're all here. Now, I would say let's take a look. What have we got here? We have the GAU 8. This is a pretty epically big weapon here. Look at this. I'm just going to take one of these. I think this is supposed to be the kind of weapon you would find on an A10 Warthog. It is pretty vicious, pretty large actually as well. You can do something kind of crazy like try to mount a turret on it. Which one? Here we go. M1 Abrams. If you want to build a tank, yes, you could in theory try flying a plane like that. I don't think I'm going to bother. No, I'm going to be far more sensible here and pick the Vulcan hidden. It tells you it's hidden. So it's basically a Vulcan gun or whatever. And these are slung here close to the fuselage. Now for ammunition, you need to supply ammunition here. This needs the 20mm ammunition box, so strap a couple of those onto the sides there. You can obviously hide these whatever way you like. Now for missiles, you want to attach those to missile rails, so I'm just going to stick these, and I'm going to actually just stick them right out in the wingtips right now. Oh, actually that's a good place. Let's stick them right on the wingtip if I can do this. There we go. We'll just have missiles stuck right out in the tip there. And you can attach whatever you like to them. Obvious one to add would be the AIM-9 Sidewinder, which is a veritable workhorse in the weapon systems, let's say. I think they've been around for a long time, so I'm just going to strap them on there. So that looks, well, okay, those look a little big. I should strap them under the wings or something instead. This isn't a starfighter. Okay. So, beyond the weapons, there's a few other things you might want. You might want flares if you're going to be going up against other targets. Those can be attached. You might want a radar system if you can fit it, especially if you're going to be flying with radar-based weapon systems. A very good idea would be to bring an AI pilot computer. Just have these attached to every single one. That way, you can have it flying as a drone if you want to test it as a target. But even easier to make your life easier, there is the weapon manager. The weapon manager will provide that nice menu. It will make everything accessible so you can see what's going on. So you might want to attach action groups and stuff to some of these things. For example, the missiles. Yes, you can attach these to fire missiles, so these will fire at a keystroke. This thing doesn't actually have a fire group, it has a toggle group, but toggling just turns it on and off, and that's what the weapons manager does, so it's less important. Let's actually take this up for a trial. Okay, so we have spawned on the runway, and before I launch I probably need a couple of targets. I've parked these next to the runway. It's very important that you park these off of the runway, otherwise the runway gets cleared every time. I'm just going to tell these things to get airborne, and the easiest way to do that is to right click on the AI flight computer. Now this is already active in standby mode, and what it will do is if it reacts to something it will launch, but I'm just going to turn off this, make sure the pilot is activated, and it will fly up to an altitude of about 1500 feet. This is team, I'll make that on team B. This is on team B as well, so all these guys are going to work together. This one, where is it here? Yes, deactivate the standby, and it will become a regular plane. So this will go up and fly around. Weapons are not armed just yet. I just want to show targeting these things. So I can switch back to myself now. Throttle up, disable brakes, and off we go. This thing should perform pretty well. You know, taking the Ares 3A, moving the tailplane closer together, bringing in these air intakes, that seems to work pretty well. I like to bring the air intakes onto the wings so that I can actually sling a large weapon underneath the center line. That actually helps, say, if you want to carry cruise missiles or stuff. Okay, so let's go after this one. So I'm just going to target this. So clicking up on the weapons manager, that's hidden up here in this menus up here. Click on the weapons, and yeah, I can either select the Vulcan, which will give me guns that are fired with the mouse button, or I can switch to the AIM-9. So just get up close enough to get a lock on, and missiles are away. So let's actually switch to these things. Oh, brilliant! You see that the killing system is based on heating, overheating. Yep, that was pretty exceptional. Now his friend is probably still around, but well, his friend isn't that interested. Let's. Oh, and you see it. Clicking, of course, activates all this. Okay, so you can actually use target mode to help the autopilot bring your target, thing onto the target. It's going to point very carefully at it, and then from here, 2 point whatever kilometers out, I might have a chance. Oh, I totally hit him, I think. Yeah, killed him on the ground. That's how it works. We have a victory. It's like shooting ducks in a barrel or something like that. Oh, no, 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 no. Yes, if you're going to target somebody, you make sure it is aiming the correct target. Okay, now for this final one, I've come over the top and I'm diving at him. Not quite out of the sun, but certainly from the sky. Now I have to manually lead the shots, but I did it. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Oh, but you know what? He might actually still be in one piece. Let's take a look at him. Oh, engine off. Engine plate. There he is. Oh, I cut off his tail and he is just spiraling backwards into the ground as I fall back towards the ground. Well, that was a pretty good test if you ask me. Definitely showed the ability of these weapon systems here. So as you may have heard, it is in fact possible to make these things fly around and shoot each other. So if you just activate the pilots and all these things, we'll get them in the air, and then we can switch them into teams. Just of course, in this case I'm just going to switch them out of standby mode. Switch them out of standby. Yep, there it goes. And this guy... Yep, they're all ready to go. So they're all in different teams. We bring up the menu, we can actually figure out which one is on which team. But look, everyone's taking off, and I guess the first thing to do is wait until they're all pointed in different directions, and then we'll set them up in Team A versus Team B and then watch the AI take over. It's rather enjoyable to watch all this happening. So I think this one right now is a very easy target for this guy. This guy, I don't know, he has just so many weapons on him. It's kind of funny. It's like a, you know, the kind of things that my kids design. They have guns pointed everywhere. But it does actually turn out to be very effective. The hard part is coordinating all these weapons. Okay, wait for them to go far enough apart. So now this guy is going to be Team B. So let's go into guard menu, turn it into guard mode. He's active. You can go on Team B as well, and you're now armed. You can remain on Team A. And you are on Team A as well. So now of course we can just switch between the different teams and watch them try to kill things. It just happens automatically. I am not touching this keyboard at all. In fact, I can do all sorts of other interesting things, I guess, at the same time. Who's lining up on AJ Sim? Hold on, let's bring the camera into chase mode so you can perhaps get a better handle on where he is. He's going for the missile lock, but he may not be turning too hard here. I don't think that's gonna work too well. Oh, and AJ Sim 2 is going for the Sturmgraft, which is shooting at me. Oh, gosh. Yes, real air combat does tend to be a turning battle. For all the people who want... Whoa, look at this. It's a turning battle where energy conservation is incredibly important. There we go. One of these ones getting taken apart. And the Sturmgraft is there. It is slow. It may have some powerful weapons, but I tell you... Oh, look at that. This one is going everywhere. Oh! Beautiful. Man, I would not have expected a victory in that manner. Missiles flying everywhere. Debris everywhere. This one is still flying, but he doesn't look like... I don't know, has he lost anything? The Sturmgraft is on his tail. I'm not sure whether which one is going to have the advantage here. He's firing the chaff to try and confuse the missile. Chaff is away. Perhaps coming over the top, but the Sturmgraft is after him. Now Sturmgraft is by another player. Ooh. Oh man, look at that! Look at that, he's using his turrets! Not any good. Oh! There you go, he got too close and then the turrets were able to tear him apart. And that is the end of the Sturmgraft. Yeah, that thing, when I originally got it, it was sent through to me through Twitter, and it wouldn't even start up because it was covered in weapons and did not have any air intakes, which was rather comical if you think about it. Anyway, let's take a look at some other fun things you can do with BD Armory. So of course, Kerbal's space program being a rocket game, it is logical to ask, can you actually build a rocket using guns? Well, due to the power of Newton's laws, yes indeed it is possible. These 4x 30mm cannons are indeed able to lift us, until they overheat and shut down for safety reasons. Look, we're even able to fly off of the pad, which is now destroyed due to the application of 30mm ammunition in high quantities. There, shortest flight ever, but it is indeed technically possible. Okay, so since getting sustained thrust to weight ratio is complicated by the overheating mechanism, the logical next attempt, or the next plan, should be to try building an aircraft. And actually, look, we're able to get up to quite decent speeds using this. Obviously, we're tearing up the runway while we're doing it. We're literally tearing up the runway, as well as tearing up the runway at 50 meters per second, but it's not quite enough for me to get this thing airborne. The engine off it actually sounds like a piston-engined aircraft. Quick, the end of the runway is approaching. We must fire more lead or depleted uranium. Are we using the depleted uranium? Depleted uranium is heavier, I hear. Okay, come on, 75 meters per second. Maybe off the lip we can get going. Come on. Oh look, we actually lifted off but a moment before leaving the runway. This is indeed an aircraft. I wonder if I can turn this thing around and not crash. Maybe not. This is kind of hard. It's pretty funny that we're able to do this. I have to say, while that may seem a little impractical, it is by far the most spectacular looking engine in Kerbal Space Program. If only these things were firing at a higher velocity. As you know, specific impulse is proportional to the velocity. Velocity of these things is maybe Mach 2, I would say. So let's say specific impulse of about 60. Yeah, not very good, is it? And yeah, I think I've run out of ammunition, so we're into the water. I should try landing on the moon using these things as engines. Now, it also includes bombs. Now, bombs I'm sure you're not that interested in, but it does give me a chance to illustrate one of the more, let's say, Kerbal moments in military history. So, just after World War II, nuclear weapons are the new hotness, so to speak. I mean, literally, they are very hot. And the Navy, I believe, was looking for a way to use these things, and they came up with a bombing profile which could be launched from carriers using single, small aircraft. Now, I think it was originally a Douglas Sky Raider, but later they used these with the Thunderjet. The idea was the plane would fly really low and really fast towards the target. Now, the problem with these little planes when you're flying low is you drop the bomb, it's there, right? It hits the ground, it explodes. You have to get far away, you have to get to minimum safe distance, but you have to remain low so you can get below the enemy's radar and evade them and everything. So they came up with a plan that they would get to about 8 kilometers out, pull up, let go of the bombs, and they would then fly off in a ballistic trajectory. Now, of course, the plane then completed the loop and is immediately performing its GTFO maneuver, also known as the loop-de-loop. And the bombs are flying in a parabolic arc, gravity's rainbow, carrying them over towards the target. Meanwhile, of course, they're heading that way, the aircraft is heading the other way, and suddenly this bomb, or in this case 2 bombs, we're just going to imagine these are atomic warheads. You know, 100 kiloton warhead, you've got to be like 10 kilometers away from in an aircraft. And look, 10 kilometers away, these things are landing right in the middle of this target, and boom! Of course, this guy is scrambling to pursue the target, but he doesn't realize that he's just been vaporized by a 100 kiloton nuclear weapon. So yeah, that was a cool concept, right? Obviously, it was complete suicide and would probably never have worked. But that is BD Armory, and I think I'm actually seriously looking at doing AI combat leagues. There's somebody else that's kind of started AI combat competitions, but I want to kind of try to make it better, bigger, whatever, get everyone involved, building things and potentially programming things with Kerbal OS. BD Armory is going to be in there because it's the best weapons mod for Kerbal Space Program. So if you like guns in your planes, then you should mess with it. If you're a peace-loving type, it's okay, there's more cool things to do in Kerbal Space Program. I'm Scott Manley, fly safe.